regional director with our company, and that'll make sense to you guys here in a little bit. A little bit about myself. I'm 25 years old, from Grand Prairie. Graduated from South Grand Prairie High School in 2004. Graduated from Northwood University in 2008 with my degree in marketing. And after that, like my good buddy Quincy Jones, we went and got our PhD. But for us, that's still for core, hungry, and determined. 3 years I've been in the logistics industry as a sales rep. I also own my own clothing line. I also run a social networking website, and I do event promotion on the side. So I always have my hand in a lot of different things. About 3 months ago, my cousin, who I worked with at the time, approached me, said, "Jay, I have something I want you to check out." And immediately I told him no. Not that I was closed-minded, but the last time he told me he had something he wanted me to check out, we had invested $1,500 into a company where we had to get people to buy this powder every single month. It probably wouldn't have been a problem, but the powder was $100 a month. So we got our friends and family to buy it from us, but to get them to buy it from us every single month was a challenge. So we found ourselves in old folks' homes. I'm sorry, can everybody hear me in the back?
Yes.
So we found ourselves in old folks' homes doing presentations for these people saying, "Hey, look guys, if you buy this powder from us every single month, you're going to live a little bit longer." To make a long story short, it didn't work out. Not that the company didn't work, but it didn't work for us. So when he told me he had something he wanted me to see, I just simply told him, "Hey, look man, I'm not interested." The problem was I worked with him. So for 2 weeks straight, every single day he came up to me and said, "Jay, look, I just need 30 minutes of your time." And every day I told him no. On the weekends, it made it easier because I could just hit the ignore button, but he worked directly across from me, so it made it a little bit harder at work. I quickly realized he wasn't going to stop asking me until I went and saw what he had. So 3 months ago, I sat down with him at his kitchen table with a gentleman by the name of Quincy Jones. Quincy asked me a very important question. Quincy said, "Jay, what's more important to you, your job or your family?" I said, "That's easy, Mr. Sparks. Of course my family." He said, "Well, why do you spend more time at work than you do with them?" I said, "Well, honestly, that's all I know how to do is trade hours for dollars." He said, "What happens if I showed you a way to swap the two? You spend the majority of your time with your family and give the world what's left over." I said, "I'm very interested." He said, "First off, we have to understand how money is made. Money is currency, and currency means to flow. If you don't understand how it's made, it'll flow by you for the rest of your life." So he sat down and he drew this out. Print this out for you guys, I'll explain it. It's actually called the cash flow quadrant. 98% of Americans fall on the left side of the quadrant. The goal is to get to the right side of the quadrant. On the left side, you have E that stands for employee. You go to work, you get paid. You go to work, you get paid. You go to work, you get paid. You don't go to work, you don't get paid. I call that the 40-40 plan. You work 40 hours a week for 40 years and hope to retire. Well, if you guys go to SSA.gov, which stands for Social Security Administration.gov, they've been keeping track of employees since the beginning of the industrialized revolution. A shocking statistic, 95% of Americans, when they hit the age of 65, are either dead or broke. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. 98% of the people fall on the left side of the quadrant, and 95% of them, when they hit the age of 65, are either dead or broke. Like Antoine, I did everything my parents told me to do. I went to school, I graduated, got good grades, and worked for a successful company. Retirement comes with money, not age. My dad's a mailman, been a mailman for 25 years. He's 54 years old. He would have to keep working at least another 20 years before he could even think about retirement. So keep that statistic in your mind as we go along. S stands for self-employed. My grandmother owns 2 daycare centers in Grand Prairie. Before Alzheimer's kicked in, she was working 60, 70, even 80 hours a week sometimes. She owned her own business, but her business owned her. I understood that, so I said, okay, how do we get to this right side of the quadrant? Well, you have B that stands for big business, and you have I that stands for investor. The type of investor they're talking about, you have to have $1 million in the bank and make $300,000 a year. I didn't have that. I don't know if anybody in here does, but if you do, me and my buddy Jason have a clothing line we'd like to talk to you about after the last and final way to get to the right side is big business, and that's what we're going to talk about here today. There's only 3 ways to get into big business. Number 1 is be the CEO of your own major corporation. I understood that the reason why most people don't own their own small business is money and risk. So to own your own major corporation, which is defined as having 500 or more people in your organization, is a long shot. Number 2 is franchising. I like to assume everybody in here would like to own their own McDonald's. I know I would. But it's $1.2 million in liquid assets to own your own McDonald's. What does that $1.2 million get you? It gets you sent to Hamburger University. See some of you guys laughing. It's a real university in Chicago, Illinois. They teach you how to run and operate your own McDonald's. You pay $1.2 million and you buy into the system. As long as you follow the system, it will work. And my favorite colors were green and red. I couldn't change the colors to green and red. The colors were red and yellow. If I want to change to the Big Antoine, I couldn't change it to the Big Antoine. It's called the Big Mac. Like I said, you follow the system, it will work. Again, I didn't have the $1.2 million, so I said, hey, look, I'm down to my last strike. He said the third and final way to get into big business is called network marketing. Key word is work. It's not called not work marketing, it's called network marketing. And the only time you'll see success before work is in the dictionary. So keep that in mind. When I sat down with him, I'll be honest with you guys, I said, look, network marketing, I'm really not interested in network marketing. The majority of the network marketing companies I heard of had everything to do with pills, products, potions, lotions, juices, gadgets, knives, real estate, makeup. In my opinion, things that were networked to death. I'm good enough to get my mother to buy makeup from me once, maybe twice. But to get my mom to buy makeup from me once a month for an entire year, I don't know, and I didn't want to try it. So I said, look, I'm really not interested in that. And he said, all I want you to do is keep an open mind. You understand how money's made now? Just keep an open mind to what you're about to see. I was told your mind is like a parachute. It does not work unless you keep it open. So I just ask you guys just to keep an open mind to what you're about to see. And we'll go ahead and get started here. Oh, and a disclaimer before we get started. My job and Antoine's job is not to sell you on anything or convince you that this is for you. Our job is just to give you 100% of the information and let you make a quality decision. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm having a little trouble with this clicker right here. While we get that going, I want to thank everybody for coming out. You guys could have been anywhere, and you guys are here looking for an opportunity to change your family's life. So, again, thank you guys for coming out. I love this quote by Douglas MacArthur. There's no security on earth, there is only opportunity. And that's exactly what this is. It's an opportunity. What you decide to do with it is up to you. Deregulation equals opportunity. We'll make that make sense right now. The airline industry is deregulated, and that gave birth to companies like Southwest Airlines. The telecom industry deregulated, and that gave birth to companies like Sprint. Currently, energy is being deregulated. So between now and 2015, states all across the United States are going to become deregulated. Some states are, some states aren't. But they're going to become deregulated. What that means is it gives consumers an opportunity to choose a lower cost provider. Quote Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett said the deregulation of energy will be the largest transfer of wealth in our history. Why is deregulation so important? Well, before 2002, if you lived in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, you either had TXU or you were using candles. You didn't have a choice. The state came in and said, you know what, TXU, we're not going to allow you to continue to charge customers whatever you want to charge them. Senate Bill 7 was passed and it opened up the market for competition. Simple economics, when you have competition, it brings prices down. You have options. You have Crest, you have Colgate. You have Pepsi, you have Coke. You have TXU, you have Just Energy. You have options. It makes things easier. Who are we? We are Momentis. Momentis is a marketing arm for Just Energy. Just Energy is a